they always crush Cincinnati. Maybe Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
but they should be fine after that.
How about St. Louis, by the way? Hate the Cardinals more than anything, and the Cardinals come in, help the Brewers.
Well, I'm sure you had to have seen Joshua Baez.
And then that was insane.
Dude, that's got to be such a cool feeling. Like
I literally said, like, you could go, you might be a 160 hitter career. Like, that might be your career stat. That happens a lot, right? Like, it's not like every person that makes it in to the majors goes 250 or better. But you're in the history books forever, bud. Like,
yeah, I saw a first pitch homer, 450 feet. Like, it was a bomb. I was like, whoa, like that's awesome. First pitch you see. Then like an hour or so later, I looked and he had hit his second home run. Like, whoa, that first two at bats. And I guess probably when I was looking, he probably hit his third one because I didn't see the third one yet. I just saw the highlight for the second one. And I switched over to the ESPN app to kind of look what was going on. And I was like, ooh, that'd be really cool if he hit 3. I was like, I wonder if anyone's ever hit 3 before. Loaded in the box score. It said he hit his third. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
3 for 3, 3 homers to start your MLB career?
It was absolutely insane. It was, I loved watching it as a baseball fan. I hated the jersey that he was wearing. However, if it was ever going to happen, having it be against Chicago made it all that much better.
It's pretty electric. That could have been, if it wasn't the Cubs or Cardinals, I think we could have probably played it for electric
for
sound of the day.
Sound?
Yeah.
Oh God, I definitely would have been glad I wasn't here when that happened. More things happened besides baseball.
Hey, what happened?
More things happening up at 1265 in Green Bay with the Green Bay Packers, specifically Keyshawn Nixon and Tucker Kraft. Those are the two big pieces you need to know that happened over the weekend. Let's start with the Tucker Kraft news. So Tucker Kraft, who obviously missed a lot of time last year, is practicing full go in 11-on-11 drills. And it has a lot of people scratching their head going, are we sure that he's to this point and that he's ready? I'm not going to lie. I still feel like when we say he's 100% go, like, you're not. Like, they're not. It's camp. You know what I mean? Like, Baron Sorrell got lit up by LaFleur for going 100%, and because he ended up going through Belton and Love fell. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm on an island here. I really don't. I'm not worried about Tucker Kraft in practice in camp right now. I'm much more worried about him in other places. If he says he's good to go, he looks good to go, and he's pushing himself in that way, good, because I need you to be there in, I don't know, 3 weeks.
He's still his first day back doing full speed 11-on-11 was yesterday. I mean, there has to be some like, all right, let's see if we can get through this week. And, like this is the first day full speed that he's gone in a team drill. That's still.
And so what? And so you don't.
I'm just saying that's still
you got to do it, no?
Right? But I'm still saying like there should be some like caution. Like you can't just be like, oh yeah, he's good to go. Like there's no injury concern there. He will not get hurt in practice. There will be no setbacks for him at all. It's his first day back doing full team drills.
Sure.
So like there is a little bit of, all right, let's get through this one. All right, let's get through this one. Hey, we're through 1 week of full team drills. Hey, we're through a preseason game. If he plays, I doubt that he will. But we're through another week of practice. Hey, we're through another. All right, we're good to go now heading into week 1. He's had 3 weeks of full team drills.
I don't know. I'm still over here going, I really don't know that this is much of a story. God, I hope that it continues to not be much of a story. The other thing.
Hey, what happened?
Keyshawn Nixon. Keyshawn Nixon is always good for a quote, right? He's kind of like the new Jair in that way of oh boy, who knows what the heck this guy's going to say now. But he was asked specifically, right, about him
being in competition.
Correct.
Yes.
With Cisse, who's been out there a lot. and getting reps, which, remember, again, this is camp. This is training camp. But his response was what? Do you have the exact quote up there?
Quote, I guess I'm being punished right now. I don't know. I don't really worry about what I'm running in camp, the ones and twos. I just keep my process and compete.
Being punished right now.
He was asked, what are you being punished for? And he said, I don't know.
Okay. Is this a little bit of maybe you ever seen someone like when the new kids shows up and you're like, you feel threatened? That's what it seems like. Like, this is a defensive quote to me.
It's
from Keyshawn Nixon, not because he did anything wrong necessarily. I think he's just saying that because the truth is, yeah, they see something in their draft pick and they haven't been satisfied with your play in a while.
I don't think it has anything. Well, I mean, it does have a little something to do with a new guy coming in, but I think mostly it's because Keyshawn knows that he's not very good and that his job is like, it's his own problem. Like the new guy, like Brandon Cisse could come in and Keyshawn Nixon could do his thing. Like if he was good, he could do his thing and he would be the starter alongside Brandon Cisse. Right. But he's practicing behind Benjamin St. Juice.
Correct.
There's two new guys. It's Keyshawn Nixon's own problem, and he knows that, and that's why his answer here is defensive and, it's not some big deal, because he knows deep down that he's not very good, and he's been masquerading, he's been pretending, he's a phony for a couple of years now as a cornerback one that he's been trying to convince people of, and now it's like, even my team doesn't think I am.
Yeah. Do you think that this ends up becoming a bigger thing, or is this just a training camp story? Do you think when week one comes, we're just still sitting here going, yeah, that's fine. We're gonna end up having
this
Nixon
is probably going to be a story because Keyshawn Nixon will continue to make it a story. Like if he doesn't start, he'll probably talk to some reporters and say something dumb like, I'm being punished.
Someone will put
I was a Pro Bowler last year.
I agree. That's what I'm thinking will happen too. I will tell you this. There was a lot of reasons to celebrate this morning. I'm hoping a lot of people slept well last night. Logan Henderson gave a lot of people a reason to sleep well and wake up very, very happy this morning. How'd you sleep? We want to know on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. How'd you sleep last night? How'd you sleep this weekend? The Brewers taking care of the Dodgers. Oh, does that feel good to say? We'll get to your text reaction and our celebrating Henderson's outing over Scooble when we get back on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
This has been an epic battle here with 2 outs. This is the 11th pitch of the at-bat. 3-2. Pages goes. Tucker right off the end of the bat. Henderson flags it down. He'll take it himself, and he'll take it to the dugout with 7 strong innings against the Los Angeles Dodgers on the road. That's a gamer right there. Logan Henderson, what a performance.
What a performance indeed. Brian Anderson, Brewers TV, letting you know, as are we here on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. Good morning, Wisconsin. Hey, just in case you forgot, baseball coverage on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. Welcome back. We want to know, how'd you sleep? How'd you sleep last night? How'd you sleep over the weekend? I'm not gonna lie. Seeing Henderson outpitch Skubal in their first, in that matchup, hopefully not the last matchup. Well, unless of course the Dodgers get bumped early, then fine. But after all the news, after Henderson, that came out that Henderson said to Matt Arnold, thanks for not trading me, and I'm a Brewer, and the all the time that we spent leading up to the trade deadline, Skubal. God, the amount of times we talked about it, not wanting him to go to the Dodgers. If anything else, it was great. Now, not only did we not get him, but the Dodgers got him. To then have Henderson kick his ass was great. That was an awesome thing to go to bed. So I slept great. I slept great last night.
I tweeted yesterday, Logan Henderson gem today in 3-4 road trip would feel like 6-1. Tweeted that yesterday morning. So I'm feeling like they went on a 6-1 road trip right now because, like you said, Logan Henderson dominated the Dodgers and dominated Tarek Skubal yesterday. Skubal gave up 9 or 10 base runners in the game. Henderson collected 3 more outs than he did, only allowed 3 hits and a walk. So let's see, 9 base runners for Skubal in 6 innings, 4 base runners in 7 innings for Henderson. So he dominated the Tarek Skubal, Logan Henderson trade deadline matchup.
So then the question becomes, now obviously this is one matchup, one time. Also, it's not that it's just based on head-to-head matchup that you're judging these two, but based on yesterday, I want to know, if you're listening out there on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, let us know. I want to know, did yesterday's game change your opinion on the trade or lack of trade, I guess, for Skubal? Everyone that said we need to go get Skubal, anyone who said I would have moved Henderson for Skubal, did that performance change things, or are you still in the boat of, yeah, but this was August? Let's see how that goes for round 2 in October. We talked about it a little bit in the first segment, and hey, what happened? That you said it, Aaron, it's different. It's different. Do you see if these two met up again, do you think Skubal puts that type of performance? Do you think it goes the Brewers' way, or is Skubal, who you brought up, back-to-back Cy Young winner, a type of guy that's going to flip that switch just the rest of the Dodgers did last year?
He only still gave up 2 runs, and only one of them was earned. So he still matched Henderson in terms of earned runs yesterday. So as much as the Brewers had guys on and were getting hits against Skubal and putting together good at-bats, it still only resulted in 1 earned run. If the Dodgers play better defense, 1 run. So, and if the Dodgers play better defense, Brewers only scored 3 runs. Only 3 of the runs yesterday were earned. So as much as it's great that they did dominate Skubal in terms of 7 hits, a couple of walks, really high pitch count through 6, they only scored 1 earned, 2 runs total. So it's not like they scored 5. It's not like they scored 6 runs against him in 5 innings of work on 7 hits or something. It still only resulted in 2 runs, 1 earned.
But and this is me playing the other side here, but they still did all of the things they still got hits. They worked counts. They got the pitch count up.
I would say great, but if you're leading the hit department 10-2 in a postseason game, but the score is 2-0, and you lose, are you going to say, yeah, but we got 10 hits? We were hitting the ball all over the park.
Yeah, well, and that goes to the offensive side of the ball, and what a lot of people were saying the problem is okay, if the Brewers get 10 hits and the Dodgers get 2 hits, what do those numbers equate to with runs? It could be that, the Dodgers got 3 runs on 2 hits, and the Brewers might have gotten 1 run on 10 hits because the ball wasn't leaving the ballpark, stranding too many guys on base. Those are concerns. Those are things that should still be monitored and thought about. But I absolutely loved seeing that. I said earlier on in the season, even before Henderson came back, like, Henderson's stuff was electric. I think that he absolutely can be that guy. I don't know. I'm there with it. I'm there. I'm excited. I'm excited coming out of that series with the Dodgers. It was definitely the highest of highs and the lowest of lows in that one trip, knowing how things started with the Padres, which thank God I didn't have to be here to talk about, honestly, because it would have been a completely different Josh. It would have definitely been skies falling. But I will tell you this, the Brewers continue to find ways to win, and that's what they've done all season long. Henderson dominates Skubal is the headline this morning. And you absolutely love that. I love that was the case. If you didn't sleep well last night, the reason might be because you're worried about injuries with this team and what they are doing to fill those holes. Bryce Terang is out for a specific amount of time. I don't know how long. I don't think that hasn't been given to us, right? We don't know.
Day to day.
Okay.
Which could be
August
7
17th.
days or 2 days. Who knows?
Right. It's August 17th. And so I'm going, okay. Like, if you're going to have like any of those final, injuries, now's the time. Within a month from now, everyone needs to be healthy. Everyone needs to be hot. Now we're in it. Now it's the last 2 weeks of baseball, a month from today. Now we're going. And so I understand that. I don't even know who was the guy in the lineup yesterday. There's
Jonathan Ornelas.
Yeah,
Johnny Rockets.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
The only confusion for me with some of these guys that are being brought up or making their way into the lineup is we had this whole bag of prospects that we talked about. Like, that was the phrase that paid all spring training long, was bag of prospects. Oh, we got a nice bag of prospects. Look at all these guys. Even up to the trade deadline, it was Brewers need to make a move. They have all these prospects. And then it's, wait, who is this guy? This is a guy I'd never even heard of before. Who is this guy? They're all just part-timers. They're all in there to just get them through. But isn't it weird that we're not using the guys in the system?
No, not weird a single bit.
Why?
No, because it's a very short-term fix, and they're not going to ruin a long-term, a long-term situation just for a couple of games. You bring up Tyler Black. I'm not sure how many times he's been called up or down this season.
31 times, I think.
Okay. So then if that was the case, he wouldn't be able to be sent back down without hitting waivers. And if they don't want to lose him necessarily right now, they couldn't do that. They're not going to add – listen, they're not bringing Jesus Mate up. It's just not going to happen. The guy's in AA. Not going to happen.
Right.
Stop asking for it. It's dumb.
But
it's never going to happen.
There are guys in AAA that they could.
And there are, like a Luke Adams or a Brock Wilkin, but Brock Wilkin's been really bad this year in AAA. Luke Adams could be called up, but he doesn't play second base. He plays first and third base, so that doesn't really solve your issue. And none of the guys that are in AAA that are infielders are on the 40-man roster, so you'd have to add them to the 40-man, drop someone else off the 40-man. It would start their clock in terms of options. You would have to then option them back down when Bryce Terang is ready to go or whoever comes off the injured list. when they're Cooper Pratt when they're ready to go. So you waste an option that they would have, which means that you're down to only 2 options, and so you really screw your long-term outlook for some of these players by doing that.
Sure. Either way, I think that if that's a reason why you slept poorly, you just need to realize that the real focus is just on having the stars back in time for the postseason and not as much on who's behind them. All right, we go to the Nicolay Law fan talking text line 414-677-1250. We have Mike in Muskego on the line. Mike, how'd you sleep?
I slept great. I mean, after the chaos that was the San Diego series, to take 3 out of 4 from the Dodgers is, I mean, pretty good. And then taking a look at the commenting on the hits, I think the point of the hitting is the matter of, I don't know that anybody's bragging that you're scoring 10-2 on hits, but I mean, kind of like the Yelich deal, he's putting good contact on the ball. The ball's going places, just right at people. You keep putting up 10 hits a game, it's only a matter of time before the runs start to come, is my take on that. And then 2, the one thing that I get a little bit nervous of here watching everybody else, even though the Cubs lost again yesterday, is I think we need to focus a little less on the Dodgers and a little more on how do we put ourselves in the best position possible, because all this talk about the Dodgers, if we don't get there, it's kind of for naught,
Yeah, I hear you. Thanks for the call, Mike. Appreciate it. Yeah, I feel like there was a point in the season where we were not worried about the Cubs. We are the best team in baseball. We are going to continue to be the best team in baseball, and we are going to have our target continue to be the Dodgers because of what the Dodgers are and what they did to us last season. But the trade deadline changed all that for me, because the Cubs got better. They went and they got pieces that they needed more than what it seemed like the Brewers did. And so that kind of put a whole wrinkle in everything of, all right, well, how long can we keep the focus on the Dodgers and not the Cubs? And that's why I'm sitting here now going, yeah, it needs to be back on the division. The nice thing is that if you focus on beating the Cubs, it seems like the Dodgers have fallen off in quite a way to where you're still getting it done. You're getting 2 birds with 1 stone there. Going to the Nicolay Law fan, Nicolay Law, easy for me to say.
Hey, you've been off for a week.
That's
true. It's okay.
The 262 said, I never wanted Scooble in the first place, was not willing to mortgage the farm for a summer rental. Yes, there was that side of that. A lot of people said that. So if you were on that side of the line, then yeah, of course, you loved seeing that. And that only helped your point. Jeff at Fox Point said, I'm on the side of let's see how the Brewers do against Scooble and Dodgers in October. I'm more concerned about the consistency of the offense, and the relief guy we traded for from Colorado, Sensatella, needs to be more consistently good. 10-7 stretch over 17 days is good. Go Brewers. That again, Jeff in Fox Point.
Brewers pitching lab, by the way, on Sensatella, they've added 1.2 miles per hour to his fastball, 1.3 to his sinker, 1.6 to his cutter, and 2.6 to his curveball.
Here's the other thing and I don't have the stats in front of me, but I'd love to know how much his usage has been since he came in. I feel like he came in and they started putting him out there immediately.
They used him a lot in those the first 2 games he was there. He's pitched 6 times since August 4th. So 2 weeks he's pitched 6 times.
Yeah.
Basically every other day.
Every other day. So I'm just saying, I'm going to say that there could be some of that with him. I don't think that I still think he's absolutely a nice contribution to the bullpen. But it does bring up a point of usage and us kind of being confused now and kind of all season long on why certain players are being used as much as they are and why others aren't. Specifically, this is in reference to our third baseman, Joey Ortiz, which had an electric moment ruined by a national call. We're going to play that for you next in the what should have been most electrifying sound of the day. When we get back on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call, we're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
It's time for
the most electrifying
sound of the day.
The most electrifying.
Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Joey Ortiz here with 2 gone in the top of the second. It's a high fly ball to left field. Teoscar Hernandez stepping back onto the track at the wall. It's gone. Bounces off the top of the wall and into the seats. A 2-run home run for Ortiz.
And that was Joe Davis, who, although we are hoping that that's not the last time that he has to call a Joey-O home run. With the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. Few reasons we played that. First and foremost, a lot of people getting on Joe Davis saying, oh, what a terrible call. What a homer call. I do have to say, first of all, I agree with you. Be better. But also, was he not interviewing?
He was interviewing Tarek Skubal during the homer.
When you're interviewing the opposing team's player, as they give up a home run, you're not going to be like, how about that one, huh, Scoobs? Like, you know.
You're not going, and Ortiz sends one out of here.
So
you're not
anyway,
going there.
we're talking to Tarek Skubal here. And
yeah.
Right. So, I do understand it a little bit. It was just unfortunate timing, I guess, for the call itself. Great timing for the Brewers. But that brings up the main point that I want to get to here before we quickly get to break. We're going to talk to Tim Allen in the 7 o'clock hour. Tim Allen going to join the show. And I'm going to ask him what's going on with Joey Ortiz's usage. A lot of times it was, what are we doing with Joey-O, period? Well, now I want to know why we're not using him more. We're going to talk to Tim Allen about that and more when we come back on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. I'm Josh Albrecht. Happy to be back with all of you. Aaron Morris, of course, alongside. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The franchise, Tim Allen, joins the show coming up next.
Good morning. This is your wake-up call.
It's time to wake up, Wisconsin.
Wake me up!
All right, rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. Come on, hop, hop, hop.
This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Here's your host, Josh Albrecht.
Laura Chopper, going to be a tough play. Betts coming in. He flips it to second, and it's mishandled at second. Everybody's safe. The Brewers are on the board. And Bowers into right field, a base hit. Churio around third will score easily. Jake Bowers continues to shine. Puts the Brewers in front 2-1. To win it. Oh, Bowers ropes one into the gap. Churio on his horse. He's going to score. And Jake Bowers is red hot. It is 3-1 Milwaukee. The club leader now Vaughn smokes one through base hit. They're going to wind up Bowers. Here he comes. Hernandez throw is on a hop. The tag not in time. Bowers with a great slide. 1-2, and Hamilton on the ground. Everybody's running, and that's off the glove of Edmund. This is going to bring in 2 more runs. 6-1 Brewers. But the Brewers, who went 3-0 at Dodger Stadium last year, go 3-1 this year. And the Brewers win the season series from Los Angeles.
I love hearing that. I want to hear that so much more. The Brewers beat the Dodgers. The Brewers beat the Dodgers. The Brewers beat the Dodgers. Yes, 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 yes. Love it. Good morning, Wisconsin. Welcome into hour 2 of the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. Josh Albrecht, Aaron Morse, of course, alongside. And we welcome on the franchise, Tim Allen. Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Oh, a little groggy, but sports, when they're rolling well, that'll give you an opportunity to just kind of pep you up a little bit.
Yeah, darn right.
Yeah, and the Brewers did just that over the weekend. Man, what a win. I mean, most are saying the biggest win of the year. You take 3 of 4, but at the same time, you pick up a game in the division. At the same time, you win the series over the Dodgers, 3 of 4. At the same time, you recover the road trip. And I say recover because this thing started out 0-3, and then 1-4, and you pick it up and you end up 3-4. And that's just the stars lined up, and it's you can have your slug, but if you're hitting solo home runs against really good pitching for Milwaukee, just project to that series if it happens. And again, we don't know if that's going to happen. This matchup, there's still 37 games left here in the regular campaign, but who knows? I mean, Sparky and I yesterday from State Fair had a debate, and my stance is that that's that NLCS last year. I just don't see it happening again, guys. I don't. Too many anomalies happened in that. The Brewers' offense just shuts off like big time, and at the same time, you get just performances out of their tails from the LA Dodgers pitching staff. I just don't, I can't reason with myself enough that that's just not going to happen again. I'm not saying the Brewers are going to win that series necessarily. I'm just saying the way they lost that series, I don't see it happening again, guys.
Well, I'll tell you this, Timmy, they got to get there first. And one of the big things that has been a head scratcher here, and I'm going to read this text before I ask you the question, but one thing that I was very excited to ask you this morning was about Joey Ortiz. And the 262 on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line said, Josh, you need to make up your mind. You wanted to bury Joey-O a few weeks ago. Now you want him more and more. Be better and make up your mind. Well, thank you, 262, for listening. And more importantly,
there's been a material change.
We're wrong. Here's the thing.
No, you weren't wrong.
Well,
you were right. Joey Ortiz was awful 3 weeks ago, a month ago. He was awful.
Well, first of all, I don't remember when he hit that home run and everyone lost their mind, like the first one that he had at home, that left the ballpark, and everyone was going crazy. That's when the Joey-O chance started. It was because everyone was just so desperate to have him do well. We've all wanted him to do well for so long. I was sitting here going, it's time. It's time to say it's just not going to happen. Now the question becomes, is it happening? I've been trying to figure out, is this real? Is this Joey O that we have now real? There was a stat. Do you have the stat, Aaron, on his OPS?
Yes, his OPS over the last, what is it? Since
6
the
weeks,
start of since July. It is since July 4th. He's hitting 345 with a 607 slug, a 1,005 OPS, which OPS is tops in the National League in that time. Batting average is tops in the league in that time. And out of the guys who are in the top 10 in OPS, the slug is the highest in the National League since July 4th.
So the question is, obviously he's on a heater. That's undeniable. The question, Tim Allen, is why is he not playing every day?
Okay, so you measure these by success. You measure some of these numbers by putting them in positions to succeed. You have to incorporate that into this. You can make a strong argument about why Andrew Vaughn is not playing every day. Same concept. Philosophically, same thing with Joey O. Maybe, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm just saying that this would be fair to say one of the reasons why their numbers are beefed up and why they look good is because of the way Murphy is putting them into those situations, whether that's a platoon situation, whether that's the right style of pitching to go up against or to not go up against. In Joey's case, he's always done well against left-handers. So are the numbers because of the way Murphy is inserting them into the lineup? You could say that that's fair. However, when you're struggling for offense, you might want to roll the dice and take a gamble and get those numbers in the lineup regardless of the matchups. The other thing, it's okay to be wrong. It's all right. That's what we do. We're not the experts. And if we were, we'd be employed by Major League Baseball club in their analytics department or their coaching staff. It's completely fine to be wrong as a fan. Don't worry about it. We get all so sensitive and almost personal at times when we're having a debate about Luis Rengifo. I mean, come on. It's okay to be wrong. The organizations are wrong occasionally. Pat Murphy is wrong occasionally. We are all well aware of that. Or I'll bring it to the attention of everyone. Nobody is perfect, and that includes baseball managers and players and organizations, and as well, and finally, about fans. It's completely fine. And the other reason why, Josh, I think part of the reason is why you and a lot of players or fans were getting on Joey O was you had a big problem there on the left side of the diamond, compounding that issue. We wanted the boogeyman. We wanted somebody to blame. Is it the left side of the diamond a couple of years ago when we were really griping about Vinny Capra and Oliver Dunn. And then earlier this year, it was Luis Rengifo and Joey Ortiz. So sometimes that gets compounded to where, right or wrong, we need that blame. And so we played the blame game a little bit. But, any production out of Joey Ortiz, you're not depending on this guy to be your 2, 3, 4, 5 hitter. Right. Nobody is. You shouldn't be. If you are, then maybe take a look in the mirror. If you're expecting 2, 3, 4, 5 middle of the lineup numbers out of Joey Ortiz, I think that's a stretch. But when you're getting production out of him, whether it's beastly numbers, as Aaron just pointed out, in a month and a half, or whether it's just hold serve and just pitch in once in a while, that's where the measurement scale is on Joey O.
Well, I think, too, and you bring up a good point there with Rengifo, something changed as well that we can track just before, a couple weeks before he goes on this tear. And that's, they brought up Cooper Pratt, and they moved him to third. which I sat here as a fan going, I still don't understand how where you stand in the field changes how you do at the plate. But ever since he went from a shortstop to a third baseman, his numbers have been incredibly better as well. So maybe that was it. Maybe that was the change that needed to happen for Joey Ortiz.
It's hard to quantify, Josh. It's hard to quantify that because it's almost like a trade where you get to change the scenery. You didn't change your stance. You didn't change your arm slot as a pitcher. You didn't change anything. You just got a new jersey on and a new home. And all of a sudden, boom, you're off and running. You can't. It's hard to measure that. And for Joey Ortiz, I've heard that before from fans on the postgame show too, that have said, put him back to that comfort zone where when he was hitting, he was playing third base, and a good one too. I mean, let's face it, he's dynamite with the glove. He is. And so maybe it's just that. Maybe it's a fresh little change for him. I don't know. You can't measure it.
So then the question becomes, and I know what you said of playing a little bit of devil's advocate, but looking at this lineup, I've said for a while, I want all the power that you can give me, you put in that lineup. I want Vaughn. I want Bowers. Make room.
Sanchez.
If it's a guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark, I want them in the lineup. I don't want Sanchez behind the plate. But beyond that,
first, did you see him over the weekend?
Well,
heck yeah, made a couple of nice scoops over there at first base.
And then looked like a hatchet man over there too, old Tin Mitt.
If Gary Sanchez is playing, DH is fine. But I want that to be the case, and I'm looking at Ortiz and I'm going, I don't understand when you have the hottest guy, why you don't take that chance, why you don't take that risk.
Personally, I agree.
Okay.
I do agree with that, especially only because offensively you were struggling. Sure. And you're not scoring a ton of runs, guys. You were given a bunch of runs yesterday, and I'm not knocking the wins because I went crazy over it over the weekend. But when you're struggling for offense, clearly Pat Murphy knew the team was struggling with their offense. Clearly, this wasn't an emotional fan reaction. This was a Pat Murphy reaction. Moving Christian Yelich down, moving William Contreras around. That clearly was because the offense was struggling. Why am I the bad guy if I get upset with this Brewers offense, yet Murphy makes these broad moves and then he doesn't get the flag? I mean, he was seeing the same offense we were, and still to this degree. It's a pretty large sample size of this offense scuffling to score runs. It is. I didn't make up those numbers. It's their numbers. They're not mine. So you see Murphy moving things around, chess pieces, trying everything he can. So it's okay, that fan reaction, to get down on the offense a little bit. And when you're struggling for that, if you're going to move Yelly and Contreras down, and in theory you're 3-4 hitters when the season started, or at least 2-3 maybe, I think it's okay to force feed a little extra time for Andrew Vaughn, a little extra time for Joey Ortiz. Only, and probably the true reason, is because your offense is struggling. Take a shot at it. I mean, again, it's a certain type of right-hander. It's what's in his arsenal that is the bugaboo for Andrew Vaughn. So when you see him sit, it's because that pitcher, they look at the analytics tell it all. That's why. But when you're struggling, why wouldn't you take a chance that Vaughn's going to start getting some reps against that style of pitching? Because you're going to sit that guy in the playoffs?
That's what I'm saying. At what point are we not trying to have – I know we've had, I think, statistically the most potential possible lineup changes that you can do, game in and game out. But at some point, you gotta say, all right, this is our solid lineup. This is where we want these guys to be. This is our best lineup that we're going to put out there for the postseason. I mean, I'm not expecting Murphy to be throwing out whoever when the postseason comes around. So I guess I'm impatiently waiting for that to get solidified. I do want to say though, man, how great was it to see Henderson beat Skubal? Not even to just see Henderson have a great day, but to have Henderson do it against Skubal and have him come away with the win and Skubal come away with the loss. How jacked were you?
Wow. I mean, as fired up as I was on Saturday night with the strikeouts from Miz to Ohtani and Freeman.
Yeah.
That right there, that situation, maybe a tick above the Henderson thing winning overall over Skubal. I really believe that Miz situation against the Dodgers Saturday night when he struck those guys out using some sliders, showing them a little different read. I think that might be a tipping point moment to this section of the season. And then to back it up with this whole trade talk, and was it going to be Henderson going for Skubal? And a lot of folks didn't want Henderson to go. Henderson's legit. It clearly, now we're seeing him 2 years. Now he needs to stay healthy. We all get that, but everybody needs to stay healthy.
Correct.
But he looks legit, and to win that over Skubal. Now, Skubal didn't pitch bad. It was 6 innings of 1-run ball.
Yep.
I mean, you can't argue with that, but the Brewers just found a way. And that narrative right there, that whole Skubal trade thing and Henderson involved, was he involved? Was he not involved? And then to come out on top and all of those things. That's probably the thing that I started the conversation with this morning, Josh, that I didn't put in there. Is that not only, you recovered the road trip, you took the series, you took the season series, you're 3 games up in the NL is the best record, 5 games up in the division. That final thing should have been Henderson winning that trade narrative war over Skubal. Yeah.
Yep. And that was it, right? The narrative. Here was the difference for me, because you said, Skubal pitched fine, 1-run ball. The difference was, I mean, he's a back-to-back Cy Young winner. I'm not expecting him to suck. I wasn't expecting the Brewers to go out there and shell him and have him out there in 3 innings because he gave up 7 runs or whatever it was going to be. But the difference is what the Brewers did here that they didn't do against the Dodgers in the postseason last year was the pitch count. They got the hits. They got guys on base against Skubal. They worked the pitch count to where it went, all right, that's 6 innings. That's going to be it for him. To where they were giving the Dodgers pitchers too many opportunities to get out of innings too quickly. And that's why when we were waiting, praying, hoping we could get to the Dodgers bullpen, they didn't need to. We saw guys going 8 innings against the Brewers in the NLCS.
Yep.
They got it. If they're not going to hit the ball out of the ballpark, they have to do it like they did.
They just do
yesterday against Skubal and the Dodgers.
Then that's the way they've been doing it. And it's frustrating and painful at times. It is. You get the table set and you scratch across a run. I mean, I'm not, I can't speak for all Brewers fans, but I can tell you who isn't frustrated when the Brewers have bases loaded and nobody out and they scratch across a run on an infield duffer, or they get a sac fly. Yeah. And those things, that's frustrating, but the timing could be really, really good right now for this ball club. There are 37 games left. They still have the big 7 against Chicago, and I get that. And chances are that series, I don't think will be lopsided in either direction. Conventional baseball wisdom would tell you. Now, the Brewers, it would be nice to have that knockout blow and get a sweep or something for sure. But the timing could be right for getting what you had called your A lineup, Josh, in there, getting your guys in there. Bryce Terang on the mend should be back on the field tomorrow. Sal Frelick is playing baseball, should be back soon. Cooper Pratt is going to play baseball tomorrow night, should be back on the field soon at the big league roster. Let's not discount Sal Frelick in this whole mix here. That's a veteran guy at this point. I think it's safe to say that he's kind of a veteran guy in comparative to other guys. How do you keep Luis Lara out? That dude's scrappy. Now his numbers aren't going to jump off the sheet at you. But, I mean, you can't tell me Brewer fans aren't starting to fall in love with his style of play.
Right.
That kid's good. That kid's going to be really good. Now, he's not going to be a superstar. I don't think he'll ever be a superstar to that level. Can he be a star player and just one of those guys? Yes, he can. So the timing could be right where if you're going to slump, go ahead and offensively figure things out now while you're winning. They got off this 17 game in 17 days at what was it? Record somewhere a little above 500
in these 17 games.
Yeah,
they
last
10
17.
and 7.
10 and 7. You gained on that. You're 17 and 10 in your last 27. I mean, guys, they're winning baseball games, but it's okay to split hairs at a higher level, saying you want it to be a little bit better. Wins are wins, and they're wins. And I mean, a lot of people are saying it's not pretty at times, but my goodness, look what they're doing here the last few years. They just win.
Yep. You keep continuing to find ways to win. When we come back, Timmy, I want to read some text here and also ask you about where the focus should be. You talked a little bit about some of the injuries that the Brewers have right now, and a lot of the focus has been on what happens with the Brewers and the Dodgers, but you also brought up those 7 games with the Cubbies. We're going to talk about that when we come back on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. I'm Josh Albrecht, Aaron Morse, alongside, of course, and the franchise, Tim Allen, joining us. We're happy you're joining us as well. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. More of the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call when we come back.
Jacob Mizorowski with a pump of the fist as he strikes out a pair of future Hall of Famers to strand a bases-loaded situation.
Oh, I love that. So did Tim Allen. Tim Allen joining us, back with us on the Wisconsin Sports Wake-Up Call. Called for it. He said, man, I love that. I almost love that more than the Joey O or the Logan Henderson highlights from the weekend. Hey, I want to remind everyone that the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is proudly outfitted by Burghardt Sporting Goods, our official apparel partner. Outfit your team or company with custom apparel today at BSG1881.com. Timmy, I got to say, so when I left last week Monday for vacay, when I was out, we had a 5.5. Brewers had a 5.5 game lead over the Cubs. Come back, 5-game lead over the Cubs. Mm-hmm. The way that they lost a half a game, you would have thought it was going to be way, way worse. But a little help from the Cardinals of all teams, and them finding a way to do what they do against the Dodgers has them still 5 games ahead in the NL Central. But the focus and the question, we had this from a caller and a few people on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, have brought up this morning how the Brewers' focus all season, at least from the fan standpoint, has been on the Dodgers. I've agreed with that. I've said that has been the goal because that's where we got embarrassed last year, and we knew this team was playing good enough to get back to that point. After the trade deadline, it changed for me a little bit because I thought the Cubs did really well at the trade deadline, and I went, yeah, they're not gone. That team's not gone. The 920 said this morning on that Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250, I'm very nervous for the upcoming Cub games. We talked to Aaron and I did this morning, and I said, where do you need to have that number be at, September 1st? And Aaron said, well, they'll be halfway through a series with the Cubs. I said, all right, well, let's go after that series. So I want to know, Tim, where's your mindset at with this team and their focus with the Cubs? And how many games do you need them to be up after that first series to not worry about the second series or any series going forward?
I think if you stay right here around that 5-game mark, and it may dip down, which it did, to 3.
Got to 3
a few days ago, and then it dibbled back up to 5 here, as you said. You keep a holding pattern there. You feel pretty good after that Cubs series. Because do the math, Aaron, because I'm not that good at it. You have 6 games coming up on this homestand here.
Mm-hmm.
3 Seattle, 1 in the Little League Classic, but 3 against the Braves. So there's 6 right there. How many games will be left after that Cubs series?
After the Cubs series,
I'm going to guess
the first one.
24, 25-ish. Somewhere in there.
Yeah, there'd be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 8, 21
so
games.
Less than that.
21 games after
21.
the 4-gamer in Chicago.
You stay around 5 with 21 to play. The only hope that they have then is to sweep that 3-game series.
That's what I said. Because you have to win 1 at home against the Cubs, and if that's the case, they gain 1, and it's 4 games with 21 to go, with 18 to go at that point.
But see, we don't want this, and Stevie brought this up yesterday on the show. You don't want that sort of what can be construed as this loser mentality. Look, they're chasing. They're chasing, and so to pick up big ground, you gotta have a winning streak in the same series. You really gotta kind of sweep the Brewers. How about the Brewers sweep them? That's the winning mentality. Hey, give them the knockout blow. Now, again, conventional baseball wisdom is going to tell you that either one won't sweep those series.
Sure.
I mean, but man, is it going to be fun down the stretch here? Now, some would say that Tim, this isn't fun seeing the Brewers lose 3 in a row to San Diego. Well, of course not, but it's part of that journey, which does include some downswings, and I get it. Even though you expect it, because the team's not going to win 162 games. You know they're going to lose about 50 minimum. Bare minimum, they'll lose 50, 60 games, whatever. You can't help the way you feel. So when you head into that Cubs series, it's way more, I can just speak on my behalf, way more emotional than it probably should be, but you can't help your emotions. You can't suppress that. And all of a sudden you're going to go into a Cubs series as a Brewer fan and potentially, like me, a Cub hater. You can't go into that series and say, you know what? I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to be reasonable. I'm going to be realistic. I'm not going to have my expectations out of line. I'm going to manage my emotions. That just
it doesn't work.
That's not going to work.
Right.
At least it doesn't work for me. I've tried it.
I think part of the reason, too, with that Padres sweep, and this is how I've been trying to focus on a lot of baseball.
They should have won 2 of those games.
Exactly. It's how they lost. The giving up 2 runs in the 7th in the first game was brutal. The game they gave up 11 runs was okay,
fine,
whatever. Yeah. And then you give up the game and then lose it in extras.
Yep.
So technically, you lose the game twice in that final game of the 3-game series against Padres. That hurt.
Yep.
That's what made that more frustrating than just getting swept in
the
series.
Dustin May game. Yeah. 7+ innings of what, 1-run ball?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
6 1/3 out of Logan Henderson in game 1.
Yeah.
You find a way to lose those games. But that's the thing here with this team. You talk about, another team having slug or another team having offense. What is the equalizer to that? It's been just phenomenal pitching. This pitching is the story of the season for this team. Now, you could throw in a Jake Bowers. You can throw in a Mizorowski on a personal level. And you can throw in some players, Trevor McGill, a great season, Abner Uribe, Dynamo. Really, the storyline of this 26 championship season has been the starting rotation and pitching as a whole. That's the equalizer here. You can have your slug, yes, and you might lose those 11-inning games, those 10-inning games, because your offense is, you need to be better. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But the storyline has been pitching, so to equalize everything out, pitching is going to keep you in every game. And it did every game this week, every game on this road trip but one. And Josh, as you said, that one gets away.
Yep.
Once in a while, you get and in a way, if you're going to lose a game, you would prefer that just lose the runaway game so you don't have to burn that bullpen.
Yep.
In these tough, tightly contested, nail-biting losses. But the argument could be made that they should have come out of this road trip at 5-2.
I agree. And to be honest with you, that is a lot of the way that the Milwaukee Brewers have been this season. Is they'll win a series. They won't sweep. They'll win a series. They'll have that game where you go, okay, well, not today. But we won the series. Hey, but we won the series as long as we keep winning the series, right?
Yep.
And so really a few mistakes stopped this from being exactly that and having it be 5-2 and having them take care of business in San Diego as well. A few mistakes were made, a few fatigue moments potentially that led to that. But the Cubs, the Chicago Cubs, I still think are the team that needs to be the focus right now and what's in the crosshairs for the Brewers.
Yeah.
Because
I understand.
you're done playing the Dodgers right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're not playing the Dodgers anymore. And I also don't want us to get ahead of ourselves, assuming that we're going to have to focus on beating the Dodgers again to get to a World Series. First of all, the Dodgers have to make it back there. They could get upset. And it's very realistic that the Brewers could not make it back there. They still got to go up against the Cubs again or
Philly
or the
whoever,
Braves.
Yeah.
Right. So there are other ways that they have to get there too. You got to play both the Phillies, Braves, and the Cubs twice before the end of the season still. So there's still a ton of different baseball to focus on. But to me, for a team that has looked at fatigue as a big issue, depth, we've seen lineups being put out by Murph that have a scratch in our head because they're trying to coast. They're trying to not, use guys too much to where they're all worn out by when we really need them in the postseason. If they can get a big enough cushion against the Cubs, I think that is huge for this team.
And the Cubs have a big series against the Brewers. That they do. They're the ones chasing. I mean, again, not to get. I love this whole stretch drive thing here. There's 37 games left here, guys. But that game between the Cubs, their manager, and their fan base, buckle in for that series. That one is going to be something because they're the ones chasing. Let's not forget that. We can measure who's a better team on paper, who's got better numbers. They're the ones chasing the Brewers. And again, I will say this, that these are going to be close games, and it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be fun. And if you can really disappoint the Chicago Cubs with a series victory, and that's Aaron alluded to that. Make sure you get a game there. And I would pop them in the nose first inning of game one. Just pop them in the nose. Be super aggressive and just, you're chasing us. Let's go freewheeling and free swinging. The Brewers tried that yesterday against Skubal. I don't know if you guys noticed. First five hitters for the Brewers.
Aggressive.
They all swung at the first pitch.
Yep.
And I haven't seen that in a long time. So do that sort of thing and just freewheel it and go into it. But I mean, still some work to do here on a nightly basis. News over the weekend, real quick, guys. 6-man rotation for the Brewers, going to go one more time through. After that, they'll reassess the situation. They'll move Drowan back into the bullpen. That's going to be a long man. That's going to alleviate some tension and workload on that bullpen. So you see the rotation getting some relaxed time, if you will, additional days rest. Now you're going to see the bullpen get the same thing with a couple of long men out there and Drowan and Wilson. And then back with the off days, there's some scheduled off days coming up, back to a 5-man rotation.
Yeah. Yeah, and so another off day today. Brewers do not play today. How many off days do they have left after today? What are they down to, 3 or 2?
Yeah, and they've got one next Monday also.
Next Monday, and then they have 16 games in 16 days. So they just keep getting hammered by these long stretches.
I don't know where these stretches are coming from. We touched on it very briefly. It might have been off the air, Sparky and I, yesterday. How does that happen?
It's ridiculous.
You go 18 and 17, and then you get a week and a half or so, and then you go 17 and 17. Then you get a couple of weeks, and you go 16 and 16.
It's nuts, especially down the stretch.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's one thing.
And a lot of them on the road
in May.
Is that true? A lot of them on the road? I try not to look down the road that far.
Yeah, you have the Cubs and Reds back to back on the road, but for the most part, no.
You do have a 9-gamer, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Philly, right before that final series against St. Louis. So
on the road,
on the road,
yeah.
It's
I thought
interesting.
I read 16 of their last 25 were on the road, so you're going to do some road work.
Yep. I don't know, Timmy, but I will tell you it is fun. And also, as long as they keep winning, just keep winning. Just continue to find ways to win.
And it's okay. I mean, it's okay to be emotional. And people say, stop freaking out and don't panic. You're fine to do that. Don't let anyone tell you how to do that.
There
you do
go.
what you want, man.
Don't tell me how to fan.
That's right.
I love it. All right. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. Enjoy your day off from post game.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy it and find myself at a little corner bar tonight.
Add a baby. All right. We appreciate it. We will hear you back on the airwaves tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, that was Tim Allen joining us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. When we come back, a little bit of your text reaction and a few other things happening in the world of Wisconsin sports outside of the Milwaukee Brewers. And we'll get you set for the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht coming up at 8 o'clock. This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's the return of the fan favorite everyone's been asking for, the pretzel bacon pub cheeseburger. So good. Had one, literally got back from California. We stopped at Wendy's on the way home. And the pretzel bacon pub cheeseburger is back at Wendy's. Fresh, never frozen beef, creamy beer cheese, applewood smoked bacon, and crispy onions, all on a pretzel bun. Add a side of delicious bacon pub fries to create a combo. So good. You'll feel like you're at an actual pub after just one bite. It's available for a limited time only, so go to Wendy's today. Welcome back to the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. Josh Albrecht, Aaron Morris alongside. Happy to be back. It was too long. I was telling Aaron.
Yeah, you were talking.
Earlier,
You're like,
I don't like being gone a whole week. I can't do it. A lot of times people will be like, "Oh, Josh, you're gone a lot." I like doing a lot of like, give me off Fridays and Mondays, or a Thursday, Friday. Give me just like an extended weekend. I'm not good doing the whole 1 week long. I feel like
it's a good.
I've been gone for a month.
Good reset.
No,
it's a good body mind reset. We're just gone for a week. You don't have to worry about anything. You come back ready to go.
Nah, I don't know. I didn't like it. Too long. I had too many things to say about the Brewers. Maybe that was too many things. We want to make sure we get the things that you want to say about this Brewers team out there as well on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250. The 414 said the only team the Brewers have to be concerned about is themselves. They win by not making physical and mental errors combined with great pitching. They put pressure on opposing teams' defense by putting the ball in play. Now look at when they lose. They fail to make contact with runners on base running errors, physical errors. They take advantage of other teams' mistakes, and they don't give other teams extra outs. Rhino said, hold on, let me bring this up here, Rhino. Make sure I get yours in. He said, the only time the Brewers need to focus on the Cubs is when they're playing them. Otherwise, they can only focus on their opponent of the day and themselves. Yes, 100% understand that. However, that was kind of the mentality that they had last season of just win every day, go, push the limits. And then it seemed like everyone was, when they needed to get hot, everyone was burnt. They were burnt out at the end of the season. And then, yeah, they got past the Cubs, but they couldn't. It just seemed like they were dead tired, and they know it. And so they've been approaching this season differently of making sure that they get to where they need to be, but that's it. Not showing off, not going further, not trying to get to a different level if they don't have to make sure that they can keep guys healthy and knock off any rust, fatigue, anything like that they need to. I think this is T. This might be T. In lacrosse, otherwise 310, said, I'm so excited for this stretch run. We haven't been hot all year. Last year, we peaked too soon. Seems like we are about to get hot at the right time. Let's go. Also, blank the Cubs. Yes, it's all about not only putting yourself in the best position, but also getting hot at the right time, which, as I said earlier in the show, I think we're a month out. I think like the last 2 weeks in baseball is when you really have to be like that scorching hot team to go into the postseason. And so for right now, that's why we talked about like Durang, some of the other injuries. Those are going to happen.
Can you get too hot going into the postseason? Like if you're like 15-0 heading into the postseason, you're like,
I think that's, well, didn't that happen? Didn't a team do that last year? Like the Reds, or someone else was there to make it in, and then they got their butt kicked. Yeah. Don't think that's going to be the case here, but we will see. There's still plenty of time to get there. There's not a lot of time left on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call because the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht is coming up next. Appreciate everyone listening today. Please continue to stay tuned for the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht. And we are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We'll see everyone tomorrow because we are not done yet.